Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM21 Builder Nation story from Bangor City with me, Daniel. It's part 133 today and we're back to go to the Burnabout. You all knew it was going to be a massive episode, particularly for those of you that were here last time, given the result in the first leg. We know we're going to go out. We've seen it in the Europa League the last few years, heavy away defeats after good home performances. But it's going to be an occasion to savour. And it should be the last time we're solo representation in European football for Wales. We've also got a youth intake that came through yesterday to look at. We've got a poor result at TNS at the weekend to go through. And then our second game today is against Barrytown United in the middle of an international break. So we're going to have a very new look side for that one. I'm really looking forward to it. So please do put a thumbs up on it. Subscribe down below for daily FM21 content. If you haven't already seen it, I've put a link in the eye above to the latest part of the head coach series. And of course up there, you can also find the Twitch channel too, where from today, we'll be starting our new watch along live streams for the football season. So come and join us later this evening if you're able to. We're going to have at least 10 football watch alongs each month. We're going to have loads of different competitions and types of games. And I'd love to see you along. So please do come and follow us over there. And hopefully we'll have plenty of fun. But today, we've got to talk about, firstly, a mix of results against Swansea Uni and TNS, but also a youth intake. So let's start with the schedule. You were with me as we played against Real Madrid and Swansea Uni. We won comfortably in the second one and got that brilliant result at home. However, after a brilliant 7-0 win away in the league, Goulding getting 4, Jones 2 and Walters 1, we then had disappointment against TNS, a 95th minute winner, in a game where we weren't particularly dominant, to be honest. We had a few chances and more than TNS, but it wasn't domination. TNS got over 1,000 in and then they beat us. Hopefully that will help them for years to come. And if we can get into that top 15 this season, which looks like it will now happen, we are going to be in a very good position come the start of next season for Welsh football. So mixed bag on the pitch. Let's go and have a look at the youth intake preview we got yesterday, because our latest set of players came through. It's expected to be a poor crop. And it was all right. I mean, in terms of us as a club, there's only one player that can potentially help us. However, most of the players that have come through have got at least 2-star potential. A lot of them, in the shape of Liver's Edge, in the shape of Reese, and in the shape of Blake, have got 1-star ability already and will be able to help other Welsh clubs. However, there is 1 star of the youth intake. There's one other player who's pretty good in Reese Young, but he's a left winger. So I might let him go and help somebody else because he's got a good personality too. But Brett Jennings, 1.5-star ability, 3.5 potential centre-half. Now that potential, to put it into perspective, is the same as Jerome Kelly, who's in the team. It's better than Whittaker and Mackenzie, who are class centre-halves at this level. Let's have a look at him. 15 years of age, brilliant personality, excellent core attributes, at least 10s across the board in all the defensive ones. Really solid mentally, a good leader already too, decent enough on the ball, got a decent passing attribute and technique, so could potentially be a ball playing defender. And he's not the worst physically for 19 years of age. Already 6 foot, he's got everything. And we've got to find a way to get him a little bit of football before the end of the year. I mean, the good thing is next season, when Bulkley and when Strom become 19 and we haven't got any to fill the bench, Jennings is going to be one of those for sure. So, despite it being a pretty average intake overall, that man is a potential superstar and may even be in the squad for the Barry game next time around. But let's go and get into the Champions League match against Real Madrid. 0-0 on aggregate, but of course, we're probably going to go flying out today. We're going to go a little more defensive than we would normally, and we're just going to try and keep the score down, keep it respectable. Of course, we've still got injury concerns, Kai McDonald being one of those. A few other players like Mackenzie and Price just back to fitness after knocks. And I'm just trying to give a little bit of rotation in terms of the squad itself. So McKinnon comes in for Walters, Broom a more defensive option instead of Jones. And it just gives us a solid base to work from. So our 11 for today is Siman Cass in goal, Morgan and Matai the fullbacks with Kelly and Whittaker at centre-half, Lloyd, Reyes, Broom and Bulkley the midfield diamond, with Lloyd Golding and Ewan McKinnon up front, and a solid bench there if we need it. Let's get into the game. We'll drop to a balanced mentality, maybe even cautious, and just see if we can keep this respectable. Okay, so the Real Madrid side, pretty similar to the one that played the first leg actually, so maybe it is a first team. We had this against Newcastle where we drew at home in the Europa League and then got battered 6-0 away. We had it with Norwich where we were 2-0 up and then lost 4 on the road. I fully expect to get beaten here. However, if we can keep the score respectable, it's a massive positive point moving forward. So I'm going to drop the wing-backs to defensive duties. We did that in the first leg anyway. We'll drop Bulkley to a support duty. And in fact, let's put Bulkley in the middle. Make it a bit more of a defensive tactic. Advanced playmaker on support for him. And then the front two can just play a lone game. We're going to drop to cautious. We're going to time waste all the time, be disciplined, dribble less. We're going to slow it down, hold our shape, drop the defensive line and engagement. And we're not going to press the goalkeeper. Let's see how we get on. It's going to be a big game for Bangor City. I think anything less than 5 is a massive success. Let's see if we can do it. Through the tunnel interview into the second leg at the Bernabeu. But early doors, Real Madrid straight on the attack as Harvey Lloyd intercepts the ball from a throw-in. Reyes concedes possession with his clearance and it finds Rodrigo. Overlapping from the right-hand side is Estevez. Back to Boomsong. Chance to play down the line again. I think Estevez was onside. Bulkley heads away. But we're going to be camped in our own half. We need to expect that. Romero through to Mejas. Brilliant block. And Kelly hoofs it downfield. First opportunity to Real Madrid though. We managed to survive it. And according to the stats, we've even had a shot on target too. As we're back with 17 minutes gone, Ramos picking the ball up for Boomsong. And again, it's a similar pattern. We've got 9 behind the ball and they're just pressing us high. Oh, what a save. Whittaker with the deflection from the ball across goal. Simancas clawed it off the line. It's incredible goalkeeping. If we can keep him next year, we can compete in any competition. Razor's headed in, second ball from the corner. The defender on the post didn't do enough. But Simancas is going to be so crucial next year. A Real Madrid owned player. And hopefully they can at least see we're a good home to him here. 20 minutes gone, 1-0 Real Madrid. Unfortunately, probably tie over. And they've got a throw on the left-hand side again as Mejas gives it to Barros. Back to Ramos, brilliant strike. Stunning from 25 yards. One of those that just rifled towards the top corner. Gained velocity as it went along. And it's 2-0 Real Madrid. So definitely match over now. We've just got to try and keep this respectable. Hopefully we can get to half-time without much more damage. As Mejas has got a dangerous free kick into Boomsong. Whittaker heads away as far as Ramos. I mean, to be honest, Real Madrid, if they want to, could run riot here. It's just whether they show any mercy in the second half and rest players for their games. As Mejas goes all the way, puts it wide at the far post. I think Simancas was beaten if that was in the corner, in truth. But we're alright. We're 2-0 down, 40 minutes gone. It's about as good as we could have hoped for. As Mejas takes the corner into the back stick. Reyes beats Boomsong in the end. Rodriguez gets it away. Gives it to Barros and now Franza. Mejas on the left-hand side again as Real Madrid pile forward. Gets into the box, beats Gwyn Morgan. Got his call up to the senior Wales squad, Gwyn Morgan. Has played regularly this season because of Kai McDonald's injury. And forces his man to an acute angle there. And he puts it straight into the side netting. I mean, I'm pretty happy with that half. We're not at a stage where we can compete on the road against Real Madrid. And it's only 2-0 at half-time. I'm fairly happy. We'll make changes soon. Just a minute gone in the second half. Mejas puts the corner in. It's a good header in. Ricardo put the ball across. It beats Simancas. But Bulkley had got back on the line to clear it. Ricardo has it on the edge still. Finds Reyes and now Franza. They're keeping the ball really well here, Real Madrid. Into Boomsong. They're just too good. It's Rodrigo on the right. He's got a man overlapping. Instead goes back to Estevez. He's got 2 midfielders inside of him, but we forced them back. We pressed really well, and I'm so proud of this effort so far. We'll make changes as we reach the hour mark, but a really solid performance from Bangor City. Let's go and make the substitutions because both strikers have really struggled. Ewan McKinnon's the fitter one. Gordon's in danger of losing discipline, and also for Gordon, he's not going on international duty, so he'll be here in a week and a half. Waters will come on alongside him. We're going to take Bulkley off for Jones. I want to give the number 10 a go. So Jones will play in there, same duty as Bulkley. And then Reyes is absolutely shattered. So although he's been the best player on the pitch, I feel like I have to make that change. Strom, the youngster, will get a run out for him. What a moment it'll be for the youngster. Let's go and get into it. 28 minutes to go. Fingers crossed we can keep it down because 2-0 is a big success. As we head into the final quarter, it is a throw on the right for Estevez. Finds Franza. We're pressing, but we're not getting close enough. Estevez delivers. Simancas punches. Rodrigo there on the edge of the box. Good block from Broom. They're working so hard, these boys. It's a different assignment to what we usually have. We mentioned in the first leg, not being dominant is unusual for us. But this is a brilliant effort. Franza puts it wide under pressure from a tie. And we're still clinging on at 2. 20 minutes remaining. It's a free kick again. Mejas takes it into Boomsong. Brilliant finish, but the flag's up. Simancas came and didn't get there, but I think he's about to get away with it. Fingers crossed VAR confirms the assistant referee's decision. It does. It remains 2-0. We've got 20 minutes to try and cling on. As the legs get tired though, this is where it could get dangerous. Well, remarkably, we're into the final 2 or 3 minutes plus stoppage time. This has been a massive effort. We might concede a third late on here, and we almost do. Racehead's just over. But with 93 minutes played in this leg, and over 180 minutes in the tie, we have only lost 2-0 on aggregate to Real Madrid. Yes, they made subs in the second half. They took a bit of pity. But what an effort from these boys. 2-0 on aggregate. We drew 0-0 in the first leg. And we have taken a massive step this season in reaching the last 16 of the Champions League. We'll be back in a moment to face Barrytown United with a heavily depleted squad. And what we'll also do at that point is confirm the coefficient, because there won't be many sides from mid-range nations who are left in their competitions. So fingers crossed the last year where we're the only side in the group stages. And a big game against Barrytown United. And who knows, maybe a couple of new faces too. I'll see you in a minute. We're back to face Barrytown United mid-international break, and I have no idea who is going to be fit and available for today. 3 of the players that are still at the club are not really that fit. Price will be fine, but Vale and McDonald maybe not so much. Crucially, Haverfordwest are beating Mould Alex at the minute. We need them to survive as a professional side. And of course, they're one of 6 or 7 clubs that are getting a big youth intake as well. So hopefully there'll be a star there. But let's get through to our tactical meeting. We're going to need a lot of changes today. And to give you an indication before I go and pick my 11, that's what we've got to choose from. It's actually a bit better than a couple of ones in the past. But we'll rework the 11. We'll be back in a minute to run through it. So here we go. Actually a lot stronger than we've been able to name in previous international breaks. We've got a few players returning to fitness. And we've got a couple of odd dodgy positions. But I mean, a few of the younger players who have been in under 21 action are actually back already. So Matai and McKinnon, both back with us after playing their game. And I guess because it's the March one, some have only had one friendly. So we have actually got a squad. Jennings and Blake, 2 of the youth intake players, will actually be in the squad for today. Jennings, I will try my best to get him a debut in this one. But my starting 11 is as follows. We've got Simancas in goal, McDonald making his first appearance back at right back. We've got Weaver at left back, Matai and Mackenzie as centre half. Price, Malone, Reyes and Jones the midfield diamond. Now Reyes is the only one with a heavy match load. However, he's been involved in 4 matches, including Spanish under 21 duty. But he only played a few minutes for them. So he's actually only played the equivalent of 2 games and 5 minutes. And then Gordon and Waters up front, we know the strength they've got. The likes of Vale and McKinnon are the stars on the bench, but there's also some of the backup and fringe players if we need them. And this is why we have emergency backups. So let's go and get into it. A big game against Barrytown United. And hopefully, regardless of the result today, they can still sneak 3rd place. Let's go and get into it. It's 7 changes for us from our last match against Real Madrid. We know the Barrytown United squad is strong. The likes of Reed, Rogers, previously backups for us, Thomas, Jenkins, Daly. It's just a very good 11 now actually, and a decent 18 as well. So I'm really hopeful that they can kick on next year. If they can get to the Europa Conference group stages, they'll be able to turn professional within a year or 2. And they really should be a big force towards the end of this save. However, that's a pretty big ask at the moment. As Tom Jones takes a free kick in, Edwards heads away. Mackenzie will get there. He's recycled possession. He's got time to pick it up. And he works it left to Matai. Both the centre-halves combining, and that's how advanced they are, as Reyes gets it. Goes into Waters. Time to turn. Does really well there. Across to Goulding. The 2 strikers combine. Goulding for £1.5 million has been a steal this year. He was rated 2.5 star by the scouts. He was rated as a 4th choice backup. He's now the best rated striker above the wonder kid McKinnon. Trust your instincts with players. Don't listen to your scouts all the time. It's been a really good start for the first 15 minutes. No threat from Barry whatsoever. And we lead 1-0 despite being depleted. We've now got a free kick 25 yards out. Who's going to take it? It's going to be Waters. Left footed. Oh, he's rattled the post. Brilliant effort from him. Waters with a great strike. Just couldn't quite get enough curl on it. And in the end, it beats the keeper, but it doesn't beat the woodwork. As McDonald plays it short to Malone, loses out in a challenge here. King over the top to Thomas, who I think was onside. And our former player is snuffed out. With those injuries he had earlier in his career, he's just not got the legs nowadays. As Reyes plays over the top, Goulding is a man he beats the sliding challenge, he beats the on-rushing keeper. And Lloyd Goulding, with a brilliant assist from Reyes, makes it Bangor City 2, Barrytown United 0. The perfect display so far, and hopefully we can add to it in the second half. It does remain 2 at the break. We'll go and ask the lads for a bit of improvement because there's still a bit more to come out of them. In the second half, if we're doing well, we'll definitely rest McDonald and Reyes, and then we'll find one other change as well, as Reyes gives it to Price. Drops it back to Matai. Can he go forward here? It looks like he's going to have to play square, though he picks out a lovely ball to McDonald, the right back. He cuts it into John Price, and now Malone. Switches left to Weaver, into the penalty area. There's 3 in the middle. The goalkeeper gets there. A penalty's been given for Walters. I've no idea what for. Maybe someone pushed him, I'm not sure. Goulding's penalty saved by Harry Morgan. Brilliant goalkeeping from our former youngster. And Smith clears it downfield. Price recycles it. And it peters out as Tom Jones has a free kick on the right. There's a lot more chances early on in this half. As Malone heads one just wide. A sea of brilliant opportunities. But we're not making them count as Weaver takes an outswinging corner. Edwards heads away. Only as far as Tom Jones. He's got a man over on the right, but instead turns back and finds John Price. He gives it short to Reyes. Been a standout performer so far in midfield. Malone switches to Weaver. 3 in the middle again. There's always 3 or 4 in the box. It's our biggest threat. It's another penalty. Ridiculous. How many penalties are we seeing given? Reed fouls him this time. Goulding's penalty's in. Second time lucky. Sends the keeper the wrong way. A 36th for the season for Goulding. And a 3rd for Bangor City. Substitutions will not be far away. Well, after 2 penalties in 4 minutes, I think it's time to make changes, isn't it? We're going to take Kai McDonald off, a good hour back from injury. Justin Burrows will come on for him. Reyes can get a rest, and we might as well bring on the youngster. Let's get Leo Blake a run out. And then Brett Jennings can come on for Matai, because he featured in the international break. So really good to see 2 youngsters get a debut. Is Jennings right-footed? He is, so Mackenzie can swap to the left. And hopefully with half an hour to go, these youngsters can put on a good display. Great to see Jennings though, who will be involved in the future. Well, it appears to be petering out a little bit. Just 6 minutes left now. We're back with a free kick, which is cleared away pretty easily. But to be honest, it's been a really solid display. And the fact that we've now got people on who can make a difference, although the assistant must have upset them because the morale is on the floor now. The header away finds Tom Jones. We'd love for him to find a goal. Been a really good player for us this season, and he's still one of the best youth intake players to come through. As Walters gets in, it's a good save by Morgan. It's behind for a corner kick. Couldn't make it count this time. It's going to be an outswinging delivery from Weaver. 5 minutes remaining. Into the front post. It beats everyone. And Reed gets it as it just drops down off a player. I don't think they knew anything about it defensively. But with 3 minutes of stoppage time played, it is 3-0 Bangor City. And given the players we didn't have available, that's a pretty special effort. We're pleased with the lads. They've done very well. And it shows what a strong squad we've got. We'll be back in a minute to look at the Welsh coefficient and plan when we'll be back for our final episode of the season. Well, potential problems at the bottom for us because Haverfordwest, with 2 late goals, concede defeat to Mould Alex, the bottom side. I don't see that they get out of that now with 3 games to go. The professional side will probably be getting relegated. But let's go and have a look at our Welsh coefficient because surely most of the other things must be wrapped up now. And if there aren't teams close at this point, it would suggest they're all out of Europe. And hopefully moving forward, whether it's next season or the season after it takes effect, we will have 3 sides virtually in the group stages before we start. Okay, so looking at the answers here, I'm pretty certain no one below us can catch us because Northern Ireland have only improved very slightly and the same goes for Serbia and Cyprus a bit further down. Just check in case there's any big ones below that. Romania have had a big increase but they're not catching us. Looking above, right, Croatia haven't improved so they can't have anyone left in Europe. Switzerland have slightly but they're still 5 points behind. They're never catching that. So surely based on that, we're going to be 15th next season. And in fact, we're still above Belgium at the moment. Only by 0.4, but we could be in 14th, which benefits us as well. But top 15 is basically secured. What that means is next season, we will still be in the Champions League second qualifying round. If Belgium drop from 14th, it will be the third qualifying round. But in a second league qualifying path, we will have the runners-up from the Welsh League. The third place team will then be in the third qualifying round of the Europa League. and the 4th and 5th sides will be in the second qualifying round of the Europa Conference. An extra side in Europe, 2 more that are 1 game away from group stage football. It is a big progress moment for Welsh football, and this is the point we've been desperately waiting to get to. So that's going to be massive. We've got 1 more episode to finish off this season though. We'll find out who make up all the other European places. We'll get that confirmation for the coefficient. But hopefully we'll also have a Welsh Cup final. We're not going to get the quadruple this year because of course we bottled it in the SPFL Trust Trophy. But if we get past Carnarvon, it will probably be TNS in the final. We'll be back for that in the final episode of the season. If you did enjoy our youth intake though, a brilliant star in Brett Jennings coming through, a valiant effort against Real Madrid, and then a solid performance with loads of our squad away, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know in the comments how excited you are for the big changes coming to Welsh football. This is make or break moment for some of those other sides. 2 of them going to be almost guaranteed 2.5 million. Another couple that are going to be guaranteed 250,000. And surely some will start turning professional then. Fingers crossed at the very least. If you want to stay up to date and find out how next season affects Welsh football, please do subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. We're coming towards a thrilling climax in the head coach. You can find that and the Welsh Experiment playlist up in the eye above. There's also a link over to the Twitch channel too, where as I mentioned earlier, we'll be starting our live streams today. At least 10 football watch-alongs a month from the new season. I'd love it if you can come and hang out and have a chat. And Welsh football at some point will be included in that too, so it'll be lovely to watch some of these teams in real life. But a big thanks for watching and following along as always, it is greatly appreciated. And I'll see you next time for our finale to the season before Welsh football should change forever. I'll see you there.